Hey, it's James Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I got a lot of psycho stalkers who love to taunt me and say, no, you're practicing law without a license. I think they're all attorneys. Some people say, isn't that practicing law without a license when you do consults and stuff like that? So this is going to be an answer so that I can just link this to people in the comments so I don't have to go back and forth with these. I mean, most of these guys, they literally act like scorned ex-gay lover because they have this gay stalker mentality and they just feminine energy and they just like have this na you're practicing law, I caught you mentality. Oh my God, this it's already dramatical and draining enough to deal with when somebody wants to fight. See, when a dad calls me up and says, I want to grow some balls, I want to fight, I'm sick and tired of my attorney, or I want to learn how to do it myself. When guys actually have the right mentality and then want help, and they call me and they schedule an appointment and they don't dilly-dally around, like most of my appointments, somebody contacts me and then they get around, you know, I reply and then they reply and then, eventually they get around, there's some people who like, I need help. I urgently miss my kids. I need to talk to you. And then they act and they schedule an appointment and it doesn't take long. A lot of people like, they'll just schedule an appointment. Like I'll say, hey, and as always, anytime I'm actually booked, it's usually the next few hours out that they're talking to me. Outside of that, I'm always wide open like the next day or most of the time. And then I'll say, just pick a day, and somebody will say, well, how about Thursday? Well, wait, I got a funeral to attend, and my kids this and this and that, and they want to tell me their itinerary and stuff like that. Like, dude, do you want an appointment, or do you want to have a chit chat about what your itinerary is? But the ones who are precise and say, I need a consult. I'm wide open tomorrow. How about 10 o'clock? Okay, boom. And then we have a consult. Got these dilly-dally, tiptoe around, dance around and play this back and forth game. It's like, do you even give a crap about your kids? Because it takes longer to talk to you and settle down and set a date, you know, um, for an appointment than an appointment actually takes. It doesn't take you a long time to figure out an appointment for a doctor, a dentist, or a plumber or somebody you need help. Like, how much more urgent is your kid than some wiring in your house or, one of the sinks that's got a leak? You guys just don't give a frick sometimes. But the ones who are precise and the ones who want to fight and the ones who are doing everything that I talk about, that's aggravating enough as it is. Because that's draining because I got to hear their hard stories and we got to talk about how to deal with stuff and their attorney won't do this and won't do that. And then, even the people who want to fight, they're debating whether they could do it without an attorney and they still have their doubts. So that's draining already. Then I got people who are arguing with me like I can't do it. And woe is me. That's 10 times as draining. And then I got the haters. And then I got the gay stalkers who say, Nana, you practice law without a license. So, first of all, like I'm thinking about two fruity weirdo drama queens who recently said, oh, you're practicing law without a license. One guy is a lawyer in San Francisco, and like, he was giving off feminine vibes, and he said, yeah, you really, you want to travel the Hershey Highway. And I'd never heard that before, and I figured out what he meant. So then I figured, oh, he must really be fruity like that, because who's going to taunt somebody and say, ha, 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 and talk about something like that? No masculine man is going to joke about that. So, first and foremost, I've already had the Bar Association up here investigate me twice. That got shut down. They found nothing. They found nothing wrong with me. So I've officially already went through the process. The Office of, they actually have a practice of law board in Washington State. I already dealt with that, beat them, and it really was it wasn't them, somebody complained to them, and I beat that stuff. Number two, one guy on YouTube says, when you do consults, isn't the content of your consult giving advice and practicing law without a license? Dude, how do you know what goes on in the consults? See, there's a bunch of estrogen-rich, estrogen-filled, extremely effeminate, fruity, emotional men out there who can't use logic. If you're sitting there telling me what I'm doing wrong and you're not there to see me doing what you think I'm doing wrong, then you can't accuse me of doing wrong. If I was at, let's say some lady got raped at a club and I was there and there's 100 other people there, and then you say, yeah, you probably raped that. Were you there? Did you see it? No. Then how can you accuse me of that? Then there's lawyers out there. What's crazy is that the people who attack me for practicing law without a license, what they're saying is, nobody could ever talk about the law and nobody could ever talk about court cases except the lawyers. You're doing something really evil, James, and that's what you're doing. And it's against the law. So they're quick to defend purely evil, sick, twisted child trafficking attorneys who charge hundreds and an attorney's job, what they do really isn't worth more than $40 an hour. They're pushing paperwork with some terminology that might be difficult for people. I mean, plumbers and electricians and people who fix stuff around the houses, they do more complicated work. But when somebody comes and accuses me of practicing law without a license or they're sitting here saying only attorneys can do that. The most sick and twisted subhumans on the planet outside of pedophiles and rapists are family law attorneys, because they don't care about children and they just care about money. And some of them are actually rapists, or there's an attorney in Tacoma named Jeffrey Robinson. He was married to a family law commissioner in Tacoma named I forget her first name. It's Marilyn Dickey, but her last name is Dickey. And he used to force women clients to give him oral. There was a guardian ad litem who ran for judge, and when he became a judge, they found out and they argued, or they found out and prosecuted him for soliciting underage male prostitutes and then threatening to kill them if they told anybody about it. So this is the sick, twisted weirdos that these other lawyers are defending. And what's crazy is that attorneys, they create this practice of law, law so that nobody can even talk about the law, supposedly. But it's when you hold yourself out to be an attorney. And then I would ask the people who were accusing me that, what does case law say about that? What does the law specifically say what that is? Because I'm not holding myself out to be an attorney. People have asked me to do certain stuff, and I said, I can't do that. I'm not an attorney. So my gay stalkers don't got anything on me except their little, arousal that they get from harassing me and whatever. And then on top of that, how is it practicing law if I say, go look at this law that's on the internet? It's already sitting there and I'm pointing to somebody. How is that a crime?